I'm so hungry, you guys. Ooh. Can you tell that I'm cold? I'm not wearing a bra. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Drew and this is my channel where I make videos on living my happiest, most fulfilled life, and hopefully that you guys gain the confidence from those videos to live your happiest and most fulfilled life as well. So today's video is all about keeping your space clean and the benefits that it has on your mind. I've never really been a tidy person, like ever. My sister, my parents can vouch for this. Mind you, I didn't grow up in the most tidy or organized home either, but that can't necessarily be an excuse. I had a super messy room growing up, and mind you, at the time I did blame the size of my room on the reason why everything was so like unorganized and messy, when really it was just I had like way too much horrible, embarrassing. I don't even like talking about how messy I used to be as a person, which it was really bad. I do actually remember telling my sister before I ever moved out of my house that when I move into my apartment, I'm gonna have everything clean, everything is gonna have its own place, everything is gonna be put away at all times unless I'm using it. That never happened, at least not yet. It definitely didn't happen when I first moved into my apartment, nor 6 months into it, nor a year into it. What month is it? October, August, September, October. So it's been like a year and 3 months-ish. Yeah, and I'm finally like relatively happy with my space. I definitely could be doing a lot more. My apartment is manageable. I can keep it clean, but there's still a lot more that I want to do. Just a little bit of backstory on when I did move into my apartment. I moved into a cockroach infestation, like a really bad cockroach infestation. After multiple panic attacks, 2 days of moving all of my actual physical items, 1 treatment for the cockroaches, an unfinished paint job later, which still to this day is not done, not gonna lie. I was moved in, completely unorganized, everything was a mess. I don't think I finished unpacking my last box until I was here for like 8 or 9 months or something. And it was just like neatly tucked away. And even when I first was moving, because my parents were selling their house a month after I moved out, but my mom actually had to do like, I'm gonna say she did like the majority, like 80% of the packing. I probably did about 20% of that, and that was probably just clothes. Plus, in the process of her packing, she was donating items because of them selling the house and everything. She wanted to downsize as well. So she was donating me like extra towels and extra like utensils and like, you know what, don't get me wrong, I am totally 100% grateful for every single one of those extra things she donated me, because I'm pretty sure I still use a couple of things, but oh my gosh, that made the process so much more difficult than it already was. So fast forward, being completely moved in, minus like a couple of little boxes here and there, I was trying to organize. Everything was still a mess. I was still overwhelmed. And on top of that, I was not a very responsible adult, so I often left a lot of dishes to pile up in my kitchen. When I did do my laundry, which was not very often until I had like no clean underwear left, I would throw it downstairs in the laundry room and I'd bring it upstairs and I'd hang it all up. And then it would stay there until I was running out of underwear all over again. Yeah, no, that was bad. And then, like I said, with the dishes, I constantly left them for as long as I possibly could to this insanely large mess. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. And then it would take me literally like an hour just to wash my dishes. I honestly just like had no idea where to start. And I'm not trying to be dramatic. I honestly can't remember what my apartment used to look like. I can look back on little vlogs that I used to do, and you can see that my apartment was definitely a mess in the background, as much as I tried to hide it. I don't remember, besides that, I don't really remember my apartment like being super messy. So nowadays, after all of the hard work that I've put in, unless I've had like a rough couple of days or like I'm being super lazy, generally for the most part my entire apartment's clean. I've developed some really awesome habits that have helped me keep my apartment clean, and I'm keeping up with them, and it makes me happy because then I'm less stressed out, and then I'm more likely to make my YouTube videos because everything is nice and clean and organized and has its place. Now, I do have a couple of books that really did help me in the process of actually like starting the cleaning process of my apartment called Goodbye Things and The Joy of Less. You can buy both of them in the link in the description box below if you're interested in buying them. If not, totally check out your library to see if you can find them there. And then if you really like it, then go ahead and buy them for yourself because they definitely are good books. The one, I like to look at it as like an inspiration for how to keep yourself in like the mindset of why you want to have less things, why you want to consume less. It is like quite extreme minimalism that the author does talk about. And then the other one is just taking you step by step through each and every single room to organize, to get rid of, and just like the whole process of how to do it in an efficient and successful manner. So getting my apartment to where it is right now has taken well over a year, like I said, which still has a lot of improving to do, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. My struggle zones, let's call them my struggle zones, have been sentimental items. A lot of items that I have that are sentimental, I've been pretty okay with like parting because an item doesn't represent a person who gave it to you, or I've consciously made an effort to use those items on a regular basis, such as like socks that my grandma gave me that I like literally never wear. Holla! Not really sentimental, but it's just like, hey, my grandma gave these to me and they're super comfy, so I rock them all the time. But it's okay that I've kept them. Like, I've come to terms with the fact that I've kept sentimental items because they serve a purpose for me. At some point in my life, I could be like, hey, I'm pretty cool to part with these items. Like, you've been pretty rad to me and stuff, but like, I don't need you anymore. So my first tip, I guess, is what I will call these, is just to start somewhere, anywhere. Pick a room, pick an area, start sweeping or start doing dishes or just get your space to be clean. Not necessarily like organizing like the nooks and crannies or like all the extra storage bins that you probably have. Clearing off your tables, finding places for those items or getting rid of those items or donating the items or whatever. You can, if you choose to go for the one that's like one or multiple areas that are overwhelming you the most. If you want, you can start in those areas. I don't necessarily recommend it because if you get really overwhelmed, you're likely going to quit and then you're just going to add to the mess even more. So I recommend starting like small, whatever is the easiest thing for your brain to kind of wrap around parting with, I guess. Even just like taking out your garbage or your recycling or your compost. You better recycle and you better compost. Or just limit your plastic use. Anyways, whole different story for a whole different video. Yeah, so just like, I don't know what the fuck that was. So guys, just for the record, that noise that I just heard was this falling. Just to let you know. Back to the video. See, that's kind of putting you in that stressful mindset. Oh, wow. And with every item, unless you're donating it right away or like throwing it out right away, really ask yourself, why am I keeping this? What purpose is it serving me? Now, on the other hand, for things that you know you need to keep because you use it on the regular basis, then just kind of look at it and go, okay, if I use this on the daily, weekly, monthly, daily, weekly, monthly, daily, weekly, monthly, just look at it and go, okay, where is going to be the best place for me to put this so it's in the most convenient, accessible place for me? So with downsizing your things and getting your place to be as organized as possible, take it one day at a time, one item at a time. Don't rush it. Don't freak out. Just stay calm and just, I guess, let it happen almost naturally. If you can't seem to part with one particular item, put it away, put it into a box along with the other items that you can't seem to part with. That's as ideally out of the way as possible. In a year's time or in 6 months' time or however long you decide, you have not even thought about what's in that box. Don't open it. Just donate it. I just spit, but just donate it. Just get rid of it. You don't need it. Believe me, trust me, I promise you. One of the things that has helped me the most, like the actual most, is developing habits. So daily, I make my bed every single morning, and if I forget in the morning, then I'll come home before I even go to bed and I'll make it just to say, hey, I've fulfilled that habit for the day. As well as I'm like getting undressed, I'll like put my underwear and my socks in my hamper. If my jeans are okay or my leggings that I wore that day are okay, I'll hang them back up or fold them back up, or like same with my t-shirt, same with like the bra that I'm wearing or not wearing at the time, you know. So that's been a really good one for me. So yeah, develop habits, whether it's like hanging up your jacket as soon as you walk into the door, make your bed, do the dishes every night, sweep. There's so many different habits that you can add into your daily life that it just takes a little bit of effort to get them to be a daily habit. I did actually download an app that's helped me with daily habits that has actually really worked out well for me, because I did get LASIK during the summertime. So I have to put eye drops in my eyes every day. And it's just like a nice little reminder, like, hey, don't forget to put your eye drops in. This one is huge. Do not buy any extra storage. Don't do it. It's not necessary. As you go through stuff, you're going to develop more and more storage. You're probably going to have way too much extra storage by the end of your little decluttering, minimizing, organizing journey. Unless you're taking another storage piece out of your place and adding in a more functional and efficient one into replace it instead of like a smaller one, sure, by all means do it. But if you're buying like a second or a third shoe rack because all your shoes don't fit on your one shoe rack that you already have that's like 3 racks tall and like 5 shoes wide, don't get the other shoe rack. Unless you need every single shoe and you know it has a purpose at least once a year, don't buy the shoe rack. If anything, try and see if you can find a pair of shoes that serves like multiple purposes. Not even just shoes, but just like anything in general. Try and find something that works for multiple purposes, so that way it takes up less space, but otherwise stay away from any unnecessary extra storage. My next tip would be to replace items that take up unnecessary space in your place, such as like an entire wall full of books. Unless you actually like read those books and they're not just there for display, just get rid of all of them. Donate them all to your local library and just get a library card instead. It's just a little teeny tiny card and that takes up way less space. And then that way you have an entire free wall to do with what you please. If you use it every single day, then keep it. That goes for any area of your house. My next tip would be to get rid of all duplicates, whether it's in your garage, in your closet, in your kitchen, any Tupperware, any linens, any toys, games, books, towels, whatever. Get rid of any duplicates. So I know that you go out and you buy another bit for your drill that you know you already have that bit, but it's with your other drill that you can't find, along with the battery that you can't find for that drill. So now you have 2 bits, 2 drills, and only 1 battery that works for 1 drill, but you can't find the charger for that battery. So now you have to go out and buy a whole new set of everything because you can't find the bit and you don't have a working drill. I swear that was my dad. Drop the dupes, dude. So once you find everything, keep it all together. Keep it in your little toolbox that I'm sure you have, probably stuffed with a million other tools. Keep it all in a nice little spot where you know you can find it. And then once you empty out a storage container from all of the organizing and donating that you're doing, put all of those things into your little storage container so that it's nice and accessible and you know exactly where it is every single time. And when you're finished using it, just put it back. And if after everything, all your decluttering, all your organizing, you still cannot find that damn battery, that damn charger, or the damn drill, or the bit, fine. You can go out and buy dupes. But as soon as you do find all of those things that have been missing, donate them. You don't need the extra stuff. Just no dupes. Nada. Zero. Zilch. Understood? Comprendo? Gracias. I don't know if that's the right language. I think it is. Comprendo? Gracias. De nada. Now, next is one, I find that I struggle with this one a lot because, like I said, I don't even remember what my apartment used to look like. So when I first started out, I had a huge pile of donations in the corner of my apartment every single day. It was growing. It started to like unmotivate me because I was like, holy shit, like I just want to get rid of all of this stuff. Like I'm not kidding you guys. So much stuff. It filled up the entire backseat of my best friend's car. Hashtag shout out to Jess because she's the best. I did notice that I was getting like quite unmotivated at times, which is okay. Like it happens. Unmotivation happens. Sometimes you got to push through it. Sometimes you just don't. I think one of the biggest struggles of actually having all of the donations in the corner of my apartment was like knowing that I could look through all that stuff and be like, I'll keep that. I'll keep that. Oh, why am I getting rid of that? Why am I donating this? Oh, I could use this. Oh my God, this is where this has been this whole entire time, even though I don't even actually use this thing anymore. The temptation was real. Mind you, it was so overwhelming that I just like never actually wanted to go through any of the stuff that I got rid of to keep it. So I was just like, I know at some point I thought I wasn't going to be using this. And I'm sure that I was in the right headspace at that time. Basically, just don't be too hard on yourself. If you're doing a lot of cleaning and you're doing a lot of donating and organizing and decluttering and you're not noticing any changes, remind yourself of how far you've come by taking, say, the donations that you have yet to take to the charity that you have chosen. Or if it's truly necessary, just take a break. Take a couple of days off, rejuvenate yourself, maybe watch a couple videos on minimalism, so watch some clean with me videos for some motivation. Don't be too hard on yourself. Take your time. Like I said, not a rushable process. Just remember that you're doing amazing and that every step you take is another step towards having a clear space, which means a clearer mind. So I do still have a lot of work to do, but I mean, I'm very proud of my progress so far. I love walking into my apartment and everything being clean, my bed being made. The results of all the healthy habits that I've developed has just been very satisfying, and I'm totally proud of myself for how far I've come. And I'm so happy that my place is like so clutter-free and that I don't feel the need to fill every space in my environment because I think that it's wasted space. Like, I don't look at space as wasted anymore. I look at it as that's clean. There's nothing that is in that spot that shouldn't be there. It's wide open space and it looks nice and it's calming. Oh, I would have cried if my mic was off. I just have to sit here and hold my mic like this. It's so annoying. So now quickly on the topic of why having a clean space is better for your mind, just you know, humor me for a second. Have a little imagination going in your mind. Close your eyes here for a second and just imagine what I'm saying to you. Imagine that you know you have to cook 200 cookies for your child's school. You wake up in the morning and you look in your kitchen and everything is a freaking mess. All the dishes are dirty. All your appliances are nowhere to be found, or you have parts and pieces that are missing and all over the place, and you're freaking out and everything's a mess and you're just stressing right out, and you know you have exactly 2 hours to make all of these cookies. No time to waste. You have to start on that batter ASAP Rocky. Imagine how stressful that situation would be. Now, imagine if the entire space was completely clean, completely organized, even if there's like a couple of dishes or something in the sink, or your dishwasher needed to be empty or something like that. Way less stressful. Now, scenario number 2. It's tax season. And you need to do your taxes because you're like, I'm independent. I don't need no accountant. I don't need no tax person to do my taxes for me. I'm going to save myself the X amount of dollars that it costs me to get somebody else to do my taxes, and I'm going to do them myself. So you walk into your office and you look down and you're like, holy everything is everywhere. Chances are is that every one of those pieces of paper on your desk has been sitting there for months, untouched, probably a little layer of dust sitting on top of every paper. That is the definition of a stressful situation. Having to do your taxes in the most organized fashion possible because taxes are important, and not having an organized space to do those taxes in. Stressful. Also having to find all the different pieces of paper and all the different receipts that you need for filing your taxes. Like, so stressful. So do yourself a favor and keep your station clean. Keep it free of mess so that it's all ready for you to start working on your next project or continue working on your current project. So guys, remember, a clean environment equals a happy mind, and a happy mind equals a happy you. And that's the you that you love to be. So why not keep your space as clean as possible, as often as possible, to better yourself mentally and emotionally. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that I gave you a little bit of motivation for helping you get your space a little cleaner and more organized. And be sure to tag me in before and after pictures on Instagram or on Facebook, and both of those links will be down below. Also, don't forget to check out those books because they are awesome. Again, they will be in the description box below as well. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you next time, eh? Bye. Just take your time. This isn't a rushable process. Rushable? Rushable, that's a word, right? I'm starting to get sweaty. Before and after pictures that you guys decide. I don't know if you just heard my hip crack, but that was my hip cracking. Hey Google, stop.